Hi there and welcome to Meals with Melissa. It's Sunday morning, time to do something great. I'm going to show you a really great option, a really great version for something that most of us really love, which is granola. When you use a lot of grains, you realize when you're using grains, and even if they're whole grains, at this day and age, we're using kind of a modern version of everything, and it's not always the healthiest. We've kind of removed a lot of the healthier nutrients out of some of the items that we use. So this is a great option because we're not using any grains. We're actually using healthy fats as our alternative. So we're getting a lot of healthy fats versus carbs and sugars and things like that. Because if you look at commercial versions of granola, you're getting a whole lot of sugar. And don't tell me, hey, well, it's got honey and that's more natural. Yes, but it's still sugar. It still spikes insulin. It still causes you to, store things as fat. So keep that in mind. And people are popping up, but I can't see quite this far. So just to give you a heads up. But okay, so really great option of granola. I made a very much smaller version than my original recipe that I found, only because that way you don't eat too much of it. I have to portion control a lot of what I do because even if they're healthy for you, I still tend to eat more than I should if I'm not careful. So I've already preheated my oven to 300 degrees. It's already ready to go. Oh, I forgot my apron. Second week in a row, I forgot my apron. I'll have to stick it out where I can see it. I'm gonna use my favorite tool of all time, parchment paper, and I'm just gonna line a pan. Now I'm using a smaller pan because again, I'm making a smaller version of it. The recipe that I include below will be the smaller version, and then if you wanna make a bigger batch, go for it. Super great when you are doing family gatherings or playing games and you want a snack that is not potato chips. Okay, so I'm lining my pan. All right, super simple. So what I did, and anymore you can find these at almost every grocery store. If not, you can always try your local health food store, but honestly, I'm finding what I need even just at my local Walmart, believe it or not. So I'm going to start with 1 cup of unsweetened coconut flakes. Now you gotta do unsweetened because again, otherwise you're adding extra sugars that you don't need. And don't worry, it's going to have a sweet flavor because we are gonna add some sugar substitute in the form of stevia. But I'm gonna do 1 cup of the unsweetened coconut. And if you don't like coconut, you don't have to utilize it. I just like it because of the texture, kind of creates just some extra, and it's very small flakes. So, okay, so a cup of that. Then I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of sliced almonds, which I also, again, local grocery store, super simple. And you might as well buy them sliced versus try to slice them yourself because why waste the time? All right, so I'm gonna do about 1/2 cup of that. And I'm just kind of guesstimating here because I'm not gonna grab a 1/2 cup measure. That works, okay. All right, then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of raw pumpkin seeds. Now, I got mine at my local Winco, but you can go a lot of places that have bulk section. I mean, you can buy them in a package, but I wanted raw. I didn't want something that was processed and had any vegetable oil coating on it. So look around, see what you can find. If you have like a yolks, or like I said, you might have to check health food stores, do some research, but I didn't really have a hard time finding it. So that's raw pumpkin seeds. Then I'm also going to use 1/4 cup of raw sunflower seeds, which I got at the same grocery store. By the way, I have tasted this. It's hard to keep my hands out of it. It is that good. Okay, so 1/4 cup of the sunflower seeds. And I'm putting all of the dry ingredients in there because I'm going to add some oil in just a second here, which I forgot to grab, but I will get it in just a sec. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of whole chia seeds. So really easy to find these days. Like I said, even your local grocery store will carry a lot of it. And if you can't, there's always Amazon, right? All right, so chia seeds. All right, then I'm going to mix this up. Oh, I almost forgot my cinnamon. I also need a half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. It really doesn't take that much. Now, the original recipe actually called for some dried fruit, some dried apples. But again, the problem with dried fruit is that you're going to concentrate the sugars. It takes out some of the natural fiber nutrients that slow down the absorption rate of the sugars in your bloodstream. So while that's up to you as to whether or not you want to do that, I chose not to put freeze-dried, just dried. Apparently I can't think this morning. Dried fruit in it. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And almost forgot I need to add my sugar substitute. This is the pure, which does have granulated stevia, but does have a little bit of erythritol. So again, if I get a little bit of bloating if I use too much of the erythritol, so be really careful. That is a sugar alcohol, can cause some gut dysbiosis. So be really careful that you're not overeating those kind of things. You are also welcome to add it, the liquid version of it, which I just get at the store, the unsweetened stevia liquid. Works great as well. You'll just have to add it after you add the oils that we'll do in just a minute. So I'm gonna put 1 teaspoon of, that's it, 1 teaspoon of the sugar substitute. Realize that the sugar substitutes, especially stevia, are much, much sweeter than actual sugar when it comes to flavor. So you don't need the same amount. There's a swap over, a conversion in order to use the sugar substitute. So make sure that whatever you're using, that you know that the rate that works for you. Okay, I'm gonna mix that up. Grab something to do that with. Okay, just gonna mix that up with a big rubber spatula, just so it gets nice and mixed up before I put in the oil. Now I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, but you could also use avocado oil or macadamia nut oil. Any of those would be great. Again, this one's gonna be a little higher in fat, so make sure that you're working it with your macros. I'm not a huge fan of low-fat diets. They have a place, you know, sometimes in the competition world they have a place, but most of the time, you know, your cells are made up of fats or lipids, and so when you deny yourself the ability to intake those, you're not getting all the nutrients that you need in order to regenerate and make new cells. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the extra virgin olive oil here real quick. Maybe not. Okay, apparently I'm going to use avocado oil on this one because I can't find the olive oil, which is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna use avocado oil, 2 tablespoons. I'm just gonna drizzle it over. I also need some vanilla that I forgot to grab, which is fine. I'll grab that too. Avocado oil just gives it a little bit different flavor. It's not a huge difference. Avocado oil just tends to be there's a very fine taste to it. Please do not use vegetable oil. From all the research that I've been doing, especially recently, causes extreme oxidative stress in your body, and really the research is starting to show that is the cause of hypertension and a lot of other actually even some genetic diseases that are going on. So let me grab the vanilla. I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, so super simple with that. All right, 2 teaspoons of vanilla in there, and then I'm just gonna mix it up and put it on my tray and throw it in the oven. Love the smell of vanilla. Okay, got that done. My family's already been digging into this. It is that good. So again, good snack. If you need something, you get those late night cravings, try this instead. It's just a better, healthier version of granola. You don't need those grains. It would actually go great on top of some plain Greek yogurt. Yeah, that sounds super good right now. Okay, so that's what the mixture looks like, if you can see it there. All right, I'm just gonna put it on my tray. You want to spread it out fairly thin because you want it to bake evenly, but you're going to, roast. You're going to, every 4 to 5 minutes, you're actually gonna take it out and kind of turn it over with a spoon in order to get it to bake thoroughly. And you're just roasting it at 300 degrees, about anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. Like I said, take some time to turn it over, and that way it can bake all the way through. I'm just gonna spread it out a little more evenly. Let me show you what it honestly doesn't look a whole lot different. You're just looking kind of for a toasty brown color, but this is what it will look like when you're done. I actually put it in a cute little mason jar here. It's already been, so you can see people have been getting into it already. Super simple, super easy. You can put it in a baggie, take it with you. If you're gonna eat it within about a week, you don't even have to refrigerate it. Super simple, great snack to take with you to work or on a trip so that you're not stopping at convenience stores and eating a bunch of junk. And it tastes amazing. So hopefully that helps. Go ahead and try it. Let me know what you think. I tried to come up with some really great recipes in order to make healthier lifestyle just a better option for you. I know we're all busy, so that is the goal. We don't do anything complicated. This took me all of about 5 minutes to put together. Throw it in the oven for a total of about 15. You're good to go. You've got something great. Do let it cool down for about 10 minutes before you put it away. But try it and let me know what you think. And you know, I get some of my best ideas from you guys. So if you have a recipe that works, can't be complicated. I don't do complicated. send it along, or you can message me, send it to me directly by Facebook Messenger. I'll take a look at it because I love to share. That's why we do what we do. Have an incredible Sunday, you guys, and until next week, that's Meals with Melissa. Have a good one. Bye now.